Okay, welcome to episode 3 of Grandpa Dougo's slideshow. And this episode's about Melbourne Drains. There are a few other videos like this from years ago called Cave Clan in Melbourne Drains. I think it was a 4-parter. This is not the same thing. A lot of these photos were in those videos, but a lot aren't. They're still up if you want to have a look at it. I put them in the Grandpa Dougo's folder. So have a look. I'll put a link at the end of the video. If you haven't watched episode 2 yet, which is Melbourne Cavities, I'd recommend you do that because I've done a little bit of information that might help you understand a lot of what I'm talking about. So it's just like a 4-minute bit at the start that explains cavities, topside infiltration, drains, all that sort of stuff. With this one, I won't be doing that much talking. This is A Flooded. Now, A Flooded, it used to be such a good drain. It's an okay drain, but just when it was permanently flooded, it was so much fun. Just the whole boat trip part of it was the best. But eventually, they fixed it up, so that was a bit of a pain. Don't know why Big Bastard's here, but there's some photos of Big Bastard. City Tunnel. Some people say the easiest way to go in is a boat like Wes is here. But some people might say you just fingertip along the edge and at low tide and you can just sort of, there you go, wet up to your knees and then you're in. Or was that wet up to his waist? That's the old gate that they removed, the gate so they could divert it from one tunnel to the other. Kanish's Tomb, this inlet stairway probably doesn't exist anymore. That area's been developed heavily. I'm planning on doing a drain walk through there the next summer, so I'll find out for sure. Mega Stairway, that used to be a fun drain. It's not the best drain, but it was a fun drain. It was just such a challenge. You do it on a nice sunny day when there's no risk of rain or anything like that. You can see here Gilligan about to go in. So this is the old outlet. The new one now comes out further out underwater. So, yeah, it's not the greatest now. But you can see here in this photo, you actually go in between the waves. And you see drops of water falling off the roof of the tunnel. And you can see the person in the background. I think that's me, actually. The other tricky bit is every now and again, you're actually running along on sand. And then there'll be bits where it drops down for some reason. It'll suddenly just go down under the water. But also, waves are coming in, so that's why the water's dripping off the roof. Like surfies do, they count the waves. They know that, I don't know how it works, the 7th wave is going to be the surfable one. Well, it was like this. There was a bigger gap between waves 3 and 4. And then you'd dodge these waves and potholes, and then you'd get to this like really long stairway. This is all within the first 100 metres. And climb up and up. You can see they're not the best photos. So I think that's looking down, there down the bottom. But it was also, once you got to the top of the stairway, which is basically the top of the beach road or whatever it is up there, it was just a shitty little pipe. And you can see there, Mad Rat, Rusco's brother, Rusco Jr.'s uncle. You can see it almost looks like he's got poo on his back because you get all that rusty mud. It's not a very good tunnel. And people have been asking me, how do you get in there? Which is the best way? Obviously, you've got to get in through a manhole now. It was fun. I don't know. Personally, I don't think it's worth the effort now. Some hardcore people do it. Yeah, Sandown Park. I was going to say it's an underrated drain, but it's not really. The only thing that's pretty cool is if you wanted to get into something at Sandown Park, it actually comes out in the middle of the racetrack. That shot on the left of Bob is further up, and the outlet, I'm pretty sure that's looking at the lake thing in the middle of Sandown Park. To be honest, I don't even know if Sandown Park still exists as a racetrack. That's how long ago it's been since I was. Yeah, and then, I don't know, I just thought this photo's pretty cool. It's one of my favourite photos. Yeah, beer is just made for drains. Like, I know so many people are like, no, it's not. But anyway. This is St Kilda Darky, the old outlet. The new one is apparently heaps better. I'll be doing that again this summer. Someone told me that there's penguins there now on the new jetty. There's the inlet. This is an Ash Gilbertson photo of the outlet to Cobras. I don't know how much it's going to change, or it's probably changed already since then, but they are duplicating it again. So that's 3 tunnels and they're building another 3 that are going to come out not far from it, so it's going to be double the size. Hopefully they build a nice joining room or something to make it a bit more entertaining. As I've mentioned in recent videos, this is the old entrance to 69er, which you used to be able to catch a boat in, which is a lot cleaner. That's the shittiest photo, Polaroid, but that's us going in a boat. And I just put this photo in whenever I can, just to show Sloth petrified look on his face as he jumps over the pipe. I think the reason for that petrified look on his face is he didn't have the torch pointing where he's going, so he's basically jumping into darkness. So yeah, one of my favourite Japes photos. 69er is going to go through some massive changes soon, and I don't know what will change, but it's going to be like, yeah, there's some big stuff planned for it. I'm definitely doing 69er again this summer. That's probably it for now. I'll probably just let some music take over for the rest of it. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you're enjoying the photo slide videos. Still got a few to come. Cheers.